Let's wrap up this busy week with our great friend Gemma Tognini. How you going, Gemma?
I'm very well, male parent giver, or whatever I'm supposed to call you these days.
I'm a partner. I'm some sort of carer day bloke at some stage, whatever. And I'm white.
Well, how dare you be?
Yeah, tell you what, I tick all the wrong boxes. You're wearing a lovely colour, pink to pink. I've got to start with the rainbow, right?
Yeah, sure.
It kills me now how inclusion becomes exclusion. Inclusion means you have to sort of wear my ribbon or you're not part of the team.
And I just find it so curious that everybody's beliefs are accommodated for except for Christian beliefs. And I'm a Christian, and I think that's fundamentally a boring part of, you know, who I am. But it's relevant when I'm talking about these things. I think it's important to disclose. But, you know, it just astounds me how other faiths who might share that aspect of belief are accommodated for.
Oh, yes,
and
I mentioned...
And I don't understand why. I genuinely don't understand why. And I don't think... I loved Claire Lehman's line in today's paper. You know, it represents nothing more than the fact that these people don't want to wear a jumper.
Well, exactly.
And suffice to say, I'm happy to offer my services to Manly for some strategic advice, because they stuffed it. They couldn't have cooked that.
It's just terrible.
Any better than they did. They just flambéed the whole thing.
They lost the game. I want to show, though, what their captain, I think he is the captain, isn't he? Daly Cherry Evans said after the game. They lost it, predictably. But I thought a difficult position for him.
Very
but
hard.
He spoke sense. Have a look.
I think we need to be really careful about how much we push onto the players to commercialise the game. If you look at a dressing room as an NRL squad, it is very diverse and it is very inclusive. So I just wonder how much we need to do as athletes, I guess, to push out there. Unfortunately, when people get put in a position to have to do something they don't want to do, then I think that's when you see positions like tonight.
Brilliant, nuanced, measured response. Crown that young man and his comments. And the other thing I wanted to say about that is just the arrogance of some commentators saying they don't know what they're saying. It's colonialism.
Yeah.
as if they're not capable of being convicted of something and holding a belief in their own right.
Where do they read that in the Sydney Morning Herald? Yeah, don't blame the Pacific Islanders if you want. Blame the white colonialists.
It's so racist and disrespectful.
What about what's going on in someone's heart too? How are you supposed to guess what they think, what they believe?
Well, you don't.
Or what their sexuality is? I mean, that is only for public display if people choose.
Right, and I don't care the sexuality of people who play a game. It's their business, and neither do I have a view. Like, I just find it extraordinary that in 2022, this paradigm of stuff is playing out in the public arena.
All right, now so we've got to mention the Commonwealth Games. They kicked off. Really, the action starts tonight, I think. But
did they start?
There was the opening ceremony.
When was that?
Very early this morning.
Right, that explains why I was asleep.
But they got a bit. They're worried about monkeypox. Apparently,
really?
So all the athletes should use condoms. That's a nice note to start the games on.
Well, I mean, isn't that the standing sort of operating procedure for sports?
Well, exactly.
For the Olympics and the Commonwealth Games,
I think they could have left monkeypox out of it. Just protection would be smart. Hey, I've got to ask you too about this new push for Joe Biden to do a cognitive test and display the results.
Yeah.
He ain't going to do that.
Of course he's
Maybe
not.
Someone could trick. Could you tag him into a game of Wordle or something and just test him out that way?
Great. Words with Friends with Joe Biden. Joe B, DC. Oh, look, I think it is beyond a joke, and the administration is beyond a joke. The woman who's now his press secretary is extraordinarily bad at her job, and I just despair. I read somewhere today, I can't remember where, so I can't attribute it, but I think it might have been Adam Crichton actually. He said, you know, the Democrats should just let Trump run again rather than trying to kneecap him, because he would be such a gift for an administration that is so bad, like lowest approval ratings ever for Biden and the First Lady.
Yeah.
I think there's more to come out about Hunter Biden too. I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, that's probably stating the bleeding obvious, the sky is blue, but more to come out in a material way that the president won't be able to shilly-shally his way out of.
Yeah, and you're right. It was Adam Crichton writing about how and he's no Trump denouncer. He just says politically, forget it.
Yeah.
Hey, I found out something about you today that I didn't know, and that is that you're a fan of a particular television show, or a particular television show that was. This is the show.
Neighbours, everybody needs good neighbours with a little understanding. You can find the perfect plan.
Now, see, I've never seen an episode because I spent my life growing up in the suburbs of Australia, so I don't want to watch a show about people growing up in the suburbs of Australia. But tell me what's been so great about it that's lasted so long and been such a huge hit in the UK.
I don't know the answer to that specific question, but I was 12 when Neighbours started, and I was originally not allowed to watch a lot of it because my mum thought it was a bit too racy. But it was Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan. Like, they became two of the biggest pop stars in the world at the time. So for me and for lots of other sort of maligned Gen Xers, it was a huge part of our pop culture reference growing up. And I stopped watching it, I suppose, when I got a social life and when I left school. And then I didn't realise it had been going for so very long. And then, of course, when they announced that they were going to bin it, it's an end of an era.
It is the end of an era. And that's why I missed it. I was a bit older than you. I think I didn't really get into Kylie Minogue until she sort of hit the Madonna phase.
Right, well, that's fair enough.
But it's been a wonderful thing for the industry.
So good.
And so many people have started their careers there with the technicians or in front of the camera. So it's a big occasion.
Margot Robbie, there's at least one of the Hemsworths. Guy Pearce made a comeback last night. It was great. It was a bit of fun and nostalgia.
Thanks so much for joining us,
Always
Gemma. Have a great
pleasure.
weekend.